We're on the air, right? We're good? Okay. Happy Friday. It's September 10th. I'm here with Dr. James Chu. We are doing a 6-part series on mental toughness. Is there such a thing? And if there is, what is it? And Dr. James Chu, for all our listeners and viewers, is so intrigued with mental toughness, especially the people that come through the Woodgym. And this all started with the Woodgym 3 years ago. The people that are out of here, type A personalities, never stop, go, 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 go. And you were actually my first guest on the podcast and now a co-host, which is awesome because we're so much alike. It's stupid, Ben. So Doc, James Chu, Chewy, tee it all for us of what this is. A teaser. This is just an introduction of a 6-part series, maybe more, with the information I'm getting from my phone of reaching out to some of my clientele and asking them that question, what is mental toughness? So I'm getting a huge panel of everybody that's been through the Woodgym and
asking their opinions, right?
Yeah. And the success rate of what they do and who they are is off the charts. So
are you picking the people that you think are the mentally tough people in the Woodgym? Or just interesting people that you are like, hey, I want to get your opinion?
Most successful.
Okay.
Yeah, most successful, most of doing what they're doing and doing it well and above average.
Okay. Yeah. This all kind of started, you and I were just talking about this subject, but what really brought it up was a client of yours who shot a text to you after listening to Frank Eppolito's podcast, right?
That's right. I forgot about that.
That's how it really kind of kicked off, because the number one question you get from parent clients, right? Parents who are trying to get their kids better, so they send their kids over to the Woodgym to get extra training. What's that number one question?
You got to get he or she tougher.
Yeah. And so that spawned a lot of discussion off air between the two of us. And then it kicked off this idea that maybe you should start talking to some of your clients and inviting them back onto the podcast, talking about their process or whatever to get mentally tough, or, you know, what it means to them. And the question really started was, can you get someone mentally tougher? Can you raise a kid to become mentally tough? What are the environmental factors, how they were raised? There was a lot of things that were initial thoughts on that subject. And then as we discussed more and more, we realized that this was a rabbit hole discussion because it can go in a variety of different places. And so you and I thought, hey, make it a series because you're going to get a lot of different people, a lot of different opinions, and off it went, right?
I mean, I know in one of our many production meetings that we have here at the Woodgym, it could be more than 6 parts.
Yeah.
Just what's coming through my cell phone for some of the clientele that I've reached out to, the variety of the success that each person has had to where they came from to where they are. It's all different. So it's either going to, what we're trying to do is define mental toughness, or I think what I'm leaning to, and this is where our debate comes from, and Chewy and I, Ben, have been debating a lot lately for the last 6-8 weeks. Ever since Jiu-Jitsu Jesus, we've had some turmoil in our relationship. I think I'm going to debunk more of mental toughness than not. You know, and we
that's
talked
a conclusion
about,
you can come to.
I think so, and I think it's this mental toughness to me is the same word that I get from a lot of parents, a lot of athletes, make them more confident. So again, how do I make somebody more confident? How do I make somebody mental tougher? I mean, I don't know. So that's what we're trying to debunk, and I think I don't know if people come up with their mental toughness and struggle with that definition are the ones or the ones that can't give it, or their own applied theory of how they've gone through life for 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, 60 years, 70 years, 91. Big Jim Haslam, he's on my panel of this. You definitely want to know what he defines mental toughness is, to Jimmy Haslam, who they've all responded back with some great insight. It's still just a question that's looming out there, especially how we started this with one of my clients came to me with his story of his son playing a football game against cross-rival town and how they laid down, can we get him physically, mentally tough?
Cross-rival town, and specifically you're talking about a client whose kid goes to the nice school,
right?
Played against the inner city school, and they were intimidated.
And yes, and I think that's where it started from. Yeah. And then you get product of your environment and all these different things that, let's be honest, Chewy, I've swayed on those topics also of like, I'm from New Jersey, product of my environment. That's what makes me tough, or whatever that is. To I don't know anymore. I've seen so many different things. I can't define what that is.
After trying to think through it, it's hard to. You're having a hard time even defining what toughness means.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so I think it'll be interesting to bring these people on. And the first person, we just start at the beginning. Start with the dad with a kid with a question.
Yes.
Can you get him tougher, Charlie? I'm sending you here. It's my kid here. Can you get him tougher?
Yes, and he will be in the empty seat with the microphone
next
to us, and not put him on the hot seat, but I'm sure we've had our discussions because he trains in here with me 3 or 4 days a week. He gets after it. He's one of the words that I'm going to use that will define that toughness is he's pretty focused when he gets in here. So I think that's a key point without giving too much away. But we have disagreements of what mental toughness is and how we all go about our day, and it's just going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. I know you've been thinking a lot about it and listening to different shows, podcasts. We've been discussing it hard the last 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah.
We came about this from that text from my client, Joe.
That's how it started.
We were going to start a segment with peace.
Yeah. Peace and purpose.
Peace and purpose, which I think is another amazing thing that we're all searching for. And I think that should parlay after this for sure. But this is going to be mind-blowing from the responses I've got back from everybody on the walls in here.
Just a teaser, do you think they're all saying something different?
Yes.
Interesting. So there's a variety of opinions from all the successes that have walked through here. Are there commonalities?
Yes. Yeah.
All right. As I haven't heard any of the text or the quotes yet, so I'll be interested in finding out too.
Yeah, and I think I could give you one word, and I think that you'll understand this pretty. What I've dug into, and of course I'm going to send them all over to you so you could see them with the names on them. I'll probably put it on paper so you could have them hard copy.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah, just so you could go through it. But the one thing I do see, and I think, you're for everybody that's just listening, some people probably didn't start with the first show with Dr. James Chu, but he's one of the most driven humans I know, including the guy out there lifting weights now, Freddie Smith, the extreme Xterra biker athlete that was also on the show.
Future guest,
of course. Yeah. And these are guys that I've had since high school with Chad Pennington, went on and played with the Jets and Dolphins. You guys are super driven with one thing at the end of what it equals, and that word would be results. Okay, so it's not a reason, it's not an excuse, it's results. And I look at all you guys, everybody that I've asked on the panel, plus the people that are physically in here now, results is still the number one thing that I'm finding.
That's the commonality that you're saying.
Results.
The one thing. Okay.
So
interesting.
All right. So I think this is going to be really, really good. I was so pumped today. I mean, just for the little teaser that we explained, and he knows when I'm pumped, when I'm giving him a hard time on text messages, driving in like he's fired up,
Yeah.
And I think you have to this is like Dr. James Chu said, is I'm asked as a job, as my purpose, to get my kid tougher.
Yeah.
That's a huge question, because the things that you have to actually go into is the age, the demographic, and the product of environment. But the age is huge, and we talked about that. You know me, I'm huge on that cyclist.
Yeah.
I'm huge on that cyclist of 0 to 3, 3 to 7, 7 to 11, 11 to 13.
Mm-hmm.
After that, you're pretty much made, according to all the therapists and studies I've done.
Mm-hmm.
You're pretty much made until a natural consequence happens.
A big life shift.
A big life shift,
Yeah.
whatever that is.
Mm.
It's a natural consequence that shakes you up. And I think we've all been through those to go, whoa.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's a lot of neuroscience that backs that up. And I mean, just living life, you see that. Right.
And you're going to bring a lot to the table. And I don't want it all to be about just this, but now your guys are my guys too. Jiu-Jitsu Jesus.
Oh yeah.
Boxing Frank. You're going to bring your guys in and you're going to have your own thoughts of what it is. And I think you're going to gather more information after I send you these plethora of text messages and emails of what everybody thinks mental toughness is.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it.
And I thought it was, and it's shifted because, Ben, correct me if I'm wrong, and Chewy, I think we did one a year ago.
Yeah.
One.
Yeah.
Just one. Correct? I think it was just one.
Mental versus physical toughness.
Oh, yeah.
And that was a very different conversation that we're having right now, because this is much more in depth on the mental toughness side. I think you talked a little bit about the difference between mental and physical toughness. If Holly was there talking with us, but this will be a lot more in depth. I think it'll be with the different people that will be on the podcast, the different guests. It'll be a great kind of all around view of it.
I'm excited. I'm really excited. All right. So we could wrap this up. Our teaser. This is our teaser, our first teaser for the 6-part series, at least 6-part.
Mm-hmm.
The stuff I'm getting through my phone, it could be longer, especially if we could have more on-site guests. I know people are in seasons and doing different things, but we have enough people in here. We could get some kick butt information from these guys. And it all started with Joe. It really did. It shifted because that's a question I've been asked for 31 years. And it's going to be interesting.
Hey, and we might have some, we hope, as a teaser, father and son duos, other people. I think that would be exciting after they play their season to come in, and other ideas that we've been throwing around.
And
it'd be a lot of fun.
And with siblings, when we talk about that MFer to not MFer, and I challenged Freddie last week, you have 3 kids.
Yeah.
Do you see one that has more of that? Yep, exactly. I do. I'm like, well, there it is. So Louis wasn't wrong about that. Are you born, not born? I think genetic makeup. I mean,
Louis Simmons,
Westside Barbell.
You're one of your mentors.
Yes.
And he said what?
He said that more than likely you're either born an MF or not an MF.
Born straight out of the womb.
Born.
Okay.
Like he thinks genes and genetics play a huge role.
Huh.
And I am fortunate enough to have enough population in here with families that have adopted kids and their own kids. And they're like, wow, my adopted kid gets after it this way.
Completely different, raised same way.
Raised the same way. The gentleman, Kevin from Omega Fitness, who fixed all the cables on the machine out there, finally, we got it done. He's a big listener of the podcast, and he was like, I can't wait to listen to the mental toughness. And he explained his situation of having an adopted daughter that plays football at the age of 6 or 9 in a boys division, and everybody is scared of her because she gets after it. And he goes, that has to be genetic. Because I have other kids that aren't that way, you know? So I think genes do play into it also. I mean, it's a huge question. And I think we're going to break it.
Awesome.
All right. Thanks, Ben, for getting up. I appreciate it. Dr. James Chu, thanks for taking all my heat every morning. I gotta go. I gotta go in a narcissistic phase when I get
I know when he's firing off.
Fired up. We're
the
on.
insults. We know it's going to be fun.
I was so pissed off when I brought that wrong Helton jersey in for Freddie, and it wasn't signed. I was so happy that I finally got it, and it's the wrong jersey.
By the way, thanks for the salami bites over there.
You're welcome.
Delicious
meats. Thanks. All right. Happy Friday, everybody. We'll see you soon.
See ya.